Hey everyone, welcome back to Backstage Pass, a CPCA advising podcast right here at Temple University. That is right, we got that podcast John up in here. Why did I say that? That was gross. Anyway, it is the final week of classes. For most people, you are done at this point, so congratulations, you're done classes. But we still got finals next week, so make sure you're still hitting the books, make sure you are studying, make sure you're doing anything you can to succeed this semester. And while you do it, you're listening to this. So, first and foremost, welcome Sarah to the show once again because you are here every week. So, Sarah, how are you doing?
Every week. I'm doing great. I'm so excited for the end of the semester. I cannot wait. How about you, Ben?
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? I'm lucky to say that I'm almost done. I like with everything. I quite literally only have one more final to take care of, and I should.
Oh my gosh, that's
uh,
amazing.
yeah, but it's a grind. We're still going. Anyway, we have a great guest today, and for anyone that's listening, I'm sure you're going to be excited to learn more about this person. Today's guest is a junior theater major in the acting concentration. She's a liaison of vibrato, which I always look at that and I just want to say vibrato, but I know that's not right because it's vibrato. Temple's musical theater a cappella group, and is also known as the Pledge Fairy for the APO here at Temple. We are so excited to get to know more about Lysia Mogford. Lysia, how are you doing today?
You know what, Ben? I'm having a wonderful morning. I have my little cup of coffee. I finished my last paper of the semester.
Woo! Yeah!
I'm having a very good morning already. So
absolutely, that's what we love to hear. But hey, you are here, you are our guest, and we got to get to know more about you. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. So one thing that we love to ask any actors, theater majors, anything like that, we love to ask what your favorite Temple show that you've attended, not been in.
Okay, so I just saw Hotel Williams, and frankly, it was incredible. It was this beautiful selection of 6 Tennessee Williams plays that all took place in a hotel, and they just had it all in completely one set and changed the decade. And I think it's one of the best pieces of theater I've seen at Temple. And it was so nice to see theater without masks for the first time in a very long time. Yeah, it made me really emotional, but it was really beautifully done.
Yeah, that was a show that I wanted to see really badly. I didn't get to go, unfortunately, because I had work in the way, and I'm really mad about it because I heard nothing but good things about it, but I really wanted to see it. So I'm really bummed about that. But hey, that's awesome. What about a show that you've seen in Philly, just in general?
Ooh. I saw Dance Nation at the Wilma before COVID hit, and I slowly became obsessed with it. It's a play with music about I think it's 7 girls on a competitive dance team, and just all the chaos that ensues in a female growing up. And it's beautiful. It's so funny to watch. There's really sweet, tender moments, and then there's just absolute chaos. And it was so well done with the Wilma. I loved it.
I think that's the second time we've had that as an answer.
Oh, really?
I think so. Wait, Sarah, did you go to it, or was it another guest?
I did not. I was so mad, but I didn't get to see it. But I can't remember.
It was probably Gia.
I was going to say it might have been Gia who said.
Me and Gia lived together for a year. We were little besties, and we went to that show together before we became friends, which is crazy.
Oh, wow.
Love that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've heard good things about it. It sounds funny. It sounds fun. It sounds great.
It was very funny. I got to sit on the floor, so they had actual chairs, but then they also had dance mats on the floor. So I sat front row, and I was so close to everything, and it was immersive and whatnot. It was so cool.
That's pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. What about shows that you've been in now? Let's go to you and your career so far at Temple. What is your favorite show that you've been a part of?
So, this is difficult. I've done a lot of side stage stuff, and I was really lucky to perform in person before everything happened. I actually did a show with Gia. I think that would probably be my favorite Temple production. We did a play called Crumble together. And it's a like 4-person cast. It all takes place on one big set, and it's about like grieving and loss. And I played like a drunk little cat lady who like couldn't have kids. There was like kind of like a sad element, but then it was also super funny. Justin Timberlake was in it. It was a really kind of like,
wait, like the actual Justin Timberlake, or like
we couldn't get him. We couldn't get him. But we had somebody play him. It sounded really crazy in practice, and it felt very crazy working on the process, but it was the last show to go up before we had to close down. So we were able to sneak like 2 shows in. My parents like drove from home like on a whim, and were like, we got to see tonight just in case, because we were still kind of in like COVID denial for a hot second. But we were really lucky to get 2 performances in before everything happened, and it was just like a very emotional experience, and I loved it. So
that's awesome. So wait, where did you grow up?
Okay, so I grew up in Reading, Pennsylvania, which is about like,
oh wow, that's a good 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours maybe.
Yes,
Yeah,
like
oh
2
my
hours
gosh.
depending on traffic.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my hometown. I went to Reading High School. I went to Holy Guardian Angels for elementary school. But it's far away enough that like I kind of have that distance, but like if I need to do my laundry and see the cat, like I can do that, you know?
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. So they drove all that way for that performance. That's really cool. That's awesome. So with being an actor at Temple, and not only, you know, preparing for shows and practicing, but you also have classes, and, you know, you're a regular student like everyone else. Like, you have to study, you have homework, you have those gen ed courses that you just think, why am I even taking this? Yep, I totally know. With all that said, you need a space to be able to work on your craft. So I guess I'm curious, where is your go-to rehearsal space on Temple's campus, if it's even on campus or if it's off campus?
So I was struggling a lot with this during COVID because I felt like so cramped in my space. I had to act in my space. I had to feel in my space. I had to be a human in my space, and I had to do homework in my space. And I think like I tried to just let my room be that for too long until it became too like emotionally cramped. So I would go to 2 places during COVID. I would go to Presser, and I would go sit in a practice room with my little mask on and my like noise blocking headphones, and I would sing as loud as I wanted, or like do my monologue as loud as I wanted, because it's not my home. I can do what I want.
Yeah.
Or I would go to the lower lobby in Tomlinson, just because no one is ever down there usually, and it's a really nice space to like practice monologues and like be able to project and have the space to move. So it depended like kind of what I was working on. If it was more like a movement piece, I would go to Tomlinson.
So wait, when you mean the lower level, do you mean like the basement area? Because I have only been in Tomlinson like a handful of times, and I've been in the basement specifically, and that place is kind of a maze.
It's definitely a maze. I stay towards the front because the back gives me anxiety. I had to go for a costume fitting yesterday, and it truly is like an absolute labyrinth down there. And I was like, if I get lost on the way, I don't know who's gonna find me.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah, you just gotta hope and pray at that point. Gosh, I can only imagine. But yeah, I gotta get in Tomlinson more. I just have no reason to go there. Well, actually, Tomlinson and Annenberg are the buildings that are like connected, right? Okay, I'm not crazy when I say that, because I've had to go to the Annenberg side of things to like rent out cameras and stuff, but I've never like really dove into the Tomlinson side, so I don't know. It's
really funny because they look like 2 completely different worlds when you walk between them. Like the color scheme changes. Like I think it's very funny to just like, there's people who like are just on the Annenberg side, and there's people who's just on the Tomlinson side, and then there's like the floaters. It's really funny to walk through because I know I'll see the same 3 people every time I do.
Oh yeah, 100%. I can imagine. But So out of all these classes that you've taken, because you're a junior, you're getting done your 5th semester, which is crazy. Congratulations for, being almost done. What has your favorite class been so far?
Ooh, favorite class. Okay, so it was the class I expected myself to like the least, just because I feel like it allowed me to become a whole lot more comfortable, like with my body and my body awareness. So I did basic movement with Siobhan, and it was like a therapeutic experience. It was all over Zoom, which I also kind of expected to feel a little bit weird about because I was just like in my space and I was like, I'm moving the way trees do, and like it was a little awkward at first, but it was definitely like the best class that I think I've taken here, and I feel like I like got the most from it. But shouts out Siobhan. I love Siobhan.
That's awesome. You're not the first person either to say that class, so there must be something special about that class. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it. I don't know if it'd be for me, but it's always worth looking into.
Definitely look into
it. Yeah. Let's talk about some of the student orgs that you're a part of. Could you tell us a little more about them?
Yeah, totally. So I'm a part of Vibrato, which is the musical a cappella group here on campus with Miss Sarah. Woo! We just got into ICCAs, which is awesome. It's a cappella competition in Philadelphia, which we will be performing in February for. So big stuff happening with that.
All right.
I'm a part of APO, which is the theater fraternity on campus. We're a service fraternity. We work on philanthropy and community involvement, and I work with a whole bunch of new theater people that I would otherwise not meet, which is super cool. I just got my little, which is very cool. Shouts out Gia Felino. She's also my little in that. I participate in Temple Smash, which is the sketch comedy group on campus. That's like my ultimate goal. I would love to just do sketch comedy and improv for the rest of my life. Which is super fun. Our newest episode is coming out within the next 2 weeks, which is super cool. I'm on the competitive improv team, the Parliament, which is my favorite right now. I just go and be absolutely unhinged with a bunch of other people. And then I do Temple Side Stage. I just finished Ben Vargas with that, which is super cool.
Gosh, so you were just kind of everywhere. You are busy. Like,
yeah, I run around.
Like, I always think like, oh man, I'm so busy, but like you're busy. Like you actually are like committed to a lot of different things. That's so cool.
Thank you.
I have the utmost respect for people that can do all that and, make the best of it. So that's really cool. But what's it like being on a competitive improv team? Like, what is that? I'm so curious now because I don't think I've ever heard of anything like that, but I'm curious now.
Okay, so we go to like big competitions like in the city, and that's how we compete. We're gonna go to our first in-person one, hopefully the start of next semester, which will be like super cool. So I had to audition for it. I had 2 rounds of auditions. And it's like there's a group of maybe 12 of us. So we meet twice every week, every Sunday and Monday, and we practice and we just play like improv games. It sounds funny to say that I practice for improv because it feels like an oxymoron, but it's more like a select group, and it's the people who like take it very seriously, I would say.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm so excited to go to my first competition. So like I had an improv like club at my high school, but like it wasn't like this. Like it was super fun, and I was the president of it, but it's nice to be like in a college group because then I feel like I'm really kind of preparing myself in a way. Because the goal after this is like Chicago and like pursuing comedy there.
Yeah, for sure. That's so cool. I love that actually. For some reason, when you were talking about that, it made me think of the last time that I had to do any sort of improv, because I used to act in high school, more so like in theater, just because like not many guys did theater and I could kind of sing, so they were like, "Yeah, you should do it," and I was like, "Okay." And yeah, it's like every high school ever. But it made me think, do you guys remember at, I don't know if it was Temple's orientation or if it was like, I think it had to have been Temple's orientation, where they had that little event where you could win like a prize, but they would bring people up on stage, and one of the things was like an improv thing.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. And they like had people sing and stuff too.
Yeah, and they had people
Don't you know?
dance, they had people sing, they had people act. Well, I was chosen to go up to act.
Love.
And I don't know what exactly the premise was, but it was something like you're on a date with a significant other, but then your spouse walks in. And like, what are you supposed to, like, what is your reaction? And I guess I never yeah, I guess I never I never really was good at improv, because my thing was I just looked and I was like, hey, yo, get down. And then the person that was acting with me was like, why? And then I just looked at them and screamed, get down! Like, and I don't think anyone was expecting me to do that.
Oh my God.
Everyone started losing it. And for some reason, they were just like, yeah, he can move on to the next round. I was like, let's go. So that was the last time I ever had anything to do with improv.
We meet on Mondays, by the way, Mr. Ben.
All right. Sounds good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I haven't done any acting related things since then, so probably for the best. So, anyway, we hear that you're a playwright as well as an actor. So can you tell us a little bit more about your work? Like, what is it like to be a playwright and an actor? Because they are very two different worlds, yet one and the same, if that makes sense.
It definitely makes sense. So I wrote my first play for Ben Vargas last year. And honestly, it was definitely like a piece where it's like, here's how I'm feeling about COVID, and I'm gonna let it all out. So the idea of the piece was, I was working all of COVID at a restaurant in Old City, and I had to take the train there, and the train was like 15-20 minutes, and I was just like watching people because I'm a little bit creepy, and I think people watching is so fun.
Of course.
I wrote monologues for all the people that I like overheard having conversations on the phone, or like having conversations with other people. And it was like so nice, because it was like, I can write about feelings and they're not mine. Heck yes, go COVID, I guess. But it was really nice to write it like as an actor, because I wrote a lot of things that if I saw it, I would be very excited to perform it, or I'd be very excited to be a part of it. I like to say that when I find that actors write, they write from an actor's perspective, which sounds like so pretentious and stupid, but like I think there's something about that where it's like, I know how I like to be directed, so if I can give enough information in the subtext or in the quite literal text, that people would feel as though they knew more what they were doing because of it. So
yeah,
it was really like such a cool experience. And Ben Vargas, if anybody has not done Ben Vargas, I 100% recommend that you do, because it's so fun. It was my first play ever, and they were like, yeah, totally, let's work on it, let's workshop it. And the play I submitted is completely different to the play I ended up with, but like for all the right reasons. It was awesome.
It was so good. It was amazing. I had the pleasure of being one of the producers, and when we read Miss Lysia's play, we were like, yes, please.
Very cool. I was gonna say, just to go back, I don't think it's pretentious at all to say that, you know, you write. No, and I say that just primarily coming from a music aspect, because musicians do the same thing all the time when writing a song, or coming up with like concepts with like lyrics and whatnot. I find that when you are presented with an idea from either someone else, or if you're just writing a song or whatever, you do it in a way that you see best fit for yourself, and then you present it. You know what I mean? Or at least that's how I go about things. So I don't think it's pretentious at all. In fact, I actually think that's what gives art its best form. You know what I mean? That's how art really is able to express you as a person, but the group as a whole entirely as well. It gives it that identity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. That's actually like a nice way of looking at it. I feel better about it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's a great thing to do in all honesty. So yeah, I love that. That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit more about your film, Ava?
Oh my gosh, that's my baby. That's my baby right now. So I've known about it prior to COVID, maybe about 6 months. Then COVID hit, and he sent me a text. He's like, "We got to push it back, but it's still happening. Are you going to be willing to film?" I said yes. So I've been hearing ideas. I've been hearing pieces of the scoring, and then we started filming over the summer. It was an intense filming process. It was about 2.5 weeks, like 18 hours a day, which was it was wild. And it all took place in the same house. So I was hanging out at his house, playing with his cats while my friends are acting. But it's a piece about a high school girl who goes through a lot of stuff. She loses her best friend, and there's like themes of sexual assault and like teenage death. But then it's like a beautiful finding yourself story and a coming out story. It's really nice. It's going to be about 2 hours long, and it'll be out by the beginning of next year.
Oh my gosh, cool. It's like a whole movie.
It's like a whole movie.
I don't know why, but like I don't know why I didn't you wrote feature film, and like I've seen your Instagrams and all that stuff, but my little pea-sized brain did not put two and two together. That's amazing. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you. I'm really, really excited. We're hoping to have like a showing in Philly and a showing in Reading, which would be really cool because it means all my friends here can see it without having to travel to Berks County. But it's had such like a big piece of my heart. So seeing it as like a real, fully realized like piece is still kind of like, oh, it's not real. It's like not happening.
Oh, so like you've seen it already.
I have not seen the full thing. I've seen a lot of clips.
Okay.
Yeah. I posted a 5-minute snippet on my Instagram, and there is an Ava feature film Instagram if you guys want to follow it. But it's taken form, which is very cool.
That is
What's
exciting.
That Instagram?
Yeah.
What's the Instagram?
Promote it. Promote it.
At Ava feature film, I think. Let me double check. I just want to make sure there's no underscores or anything. Yep, at Ava feature film, no spaces, no capitals, no periods. No.
Boom! Here it is, people.
Woo!
Got it right here.
Heck yeah, that's me. That's me crying.
Oh, my phone said, did something go wrong while I was shaking my phone?
Oh my gosh.
So exciting. Yeah, that's so cool. That is like, wow. So where do you think it'll be shown, like in Reading and Philly? Do you have specific places in mind, or are you thinking doing like more of a DIY approach?
It might end up being more of a DIY approach, which would be really cool. I've worked with this filmmaker like when I was a kid, so I did The Crucible at a local theater and he did the pictures for it. And then 3 years later, he was like, "Hey, I have this project. I wrote it with you in mind. Is there any way that you would want to be a part of it?" I was like, heck yeah. I'm more of like a live theater actor. Like I don't have a whole lot of film experience. So I was like, this will be great. Maybe it'll be like a short, lighthearted film. And then I was given Ava and I was like, oh, okay. Means a lot. Let's do this, but let's do it the right way.
Yeah.
So I was originally given just like a 25-page script. And then he was like, what are your thoughts? How do you... So he is a male film director, and I think that is very important to send it to me because it's about the experience of a teenage female presenting body. So he was like, if anything feels out of place or you don't feel comfortable with any of this, let me know. We'll work it through. For the most part, I loved everything I read, and I was like in love with it from the moment I read it. But it's been like a very like back and forth collaborative process, which is super cool. It's a short story that his wife or fiance wrote, which is so exciting. They proposed during like the time that we were filming.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Yay, Marty. But his wife wrote a short like story, and then it became a script, and now it's a full feature film.
Wow. That is so exciting. So this has been in the making for a while then.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I got to get in on this showing in Philly. Oh, my goodness. That
I
sounds
post
awesome.
mercilessly about Ava. So.
Awesome. So I got all my information on social media. That's all I need. Perfect. And then quickly before we wrap things up, I actually do want to ask about Tartuffe. Could you tell
Oh my
us
gosh.
a little bit more about that?
Oh my goodness. Miss Sarah is also in Tartuffe, which is so nice. So Tartuffe is a classic piece that is often cast as both male and female presenting bodies, but we did one that was an all-female cast.
All
I was
right.
really lucky to get to play Tartuffe, which is really cool. He is just like an absolute creeper, but like kind of in a funny, charming way. I keep telling myself. But it was really cool. It was like such a powerful cast of women that I've either have worked with or I've been dying to work with. Sarah Barainyak.
Please.
But that's going to be shown on Sunday, which is wild, but also very exciting. It was directed by Melanie Julian, my current, like, one of my favorite professors at Temple University. She's so cool. But yeah, it's going to be performed over Zoom. It is a live reading, so we got to workshop it a whole lot and like play with the comedy of it, and it was really, really just a good experience, I think.
Hell yeah, that's so exciting. So this Sunday is when it's being shown.
This Sunday, I believe it's at 7 o'clock, and it's going to be a YouTube live link.
All right, there you go, people. This Sunday, 7 o'clock, YouTube live. Hell yeah, we're getting it going. That's what we're talking about. Tartuffe with our very one and only Sarah and Miss Lysia. Very, very exciting. That's right, guys. Anyway, so unfortunately, we do have to wrap things up, but we're not going to let you go empty-handed. We actually have a little game for you.
Oh, I'm so excited.
That's right. So the game is, why did I just pull up my calculator? I need the timer. So the game is a little game called This or That, or most popularly known as Coke or Pepsi, which is we give you a list, I believe, of 15 different things to pick between, and you just got to pick between them. So it doesn't sound hard at, surface level, but we're giving you a timer of 1 minute. You have to answer all 15 of these in 1 minute. If you can do that, you get the prize of being one of the people that have actually succeeded at this game. We'll give you a virtual high five or something.
Bragging rights. Bragging
That's right, bragging rights. So there you go. That's all there is to it. I'm going to be holding on to the timer, and Miss Sarah is going to be reading you the questions.
Perfect.
So, how are we feeling? Are we ready?
Oh, I'm so excited, and I'm determined to win.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, or really more so two ladies and one gentleman person thing, we are going to start in 3, 2, 1, go.
The Sack or food trucks?
Food truck.
Richie's or Saxby's?
Richie's.
Ritter or rehearsal hall?
Ritter.
Acting or singing?
Acting.
Acting or writing?
Acting.
Wawa or 7-Eleven?
Wawa.
Wawa or Sheets?
Wawa. If they deserve to be put down.
Charles or Paley?
Charles.
Monologue or scene?
Scene.
Tomlinson or Randall?
Randall.
J or H?
J.
Film or theater?
Theater.
Drama or comedy?
Comedy.
Classical or contemporary?
Contemporary.
Play or musical?
Play.
All right, there were 3 seconds left on the timer. Congratulations, you succeeded. Let's get that virtual high five in there. Boom. That's what we're talking about. Very nice job. We got to make these questions harder somehow.
I know, we keep saying this. I'm failing.
We used
I'm
to throw
failing.
some
I need to be fired.
curveballs.
Do
We
you
used
I
have
need
throw
to be
some-
fired.
since rehearsal hall instead of Ritter? Have you had anybody say rehearsal hall instead of Ritter?
I feel like we have had like 1 or 2 say rehearsal hall, and I was like, "What's wrong with you?" But just kidding, just kidding.
Take. That is a hot take.
I know
Indeed.
rehearsal hall is very interesting. I mean, sometimes it's good, but I don't know. It's very interesting.
Had one too many
I feel-
auditions in there.
I feel more safe in Ritter.
Oh yes. I love Ritter.
Oh my goodness. Well, Lysia, thank you so much for being a part of our show. This has been so exciting, and I've had such a pleasure chatting with you and getting to know a little bit more about you. So thank you so much for being on.
Well, thank you for having me. This is so fun.
Oh, absolutely. And as always, I'd like to thank Sarah for being the co-host of the show, because without her, we would not be able to do this, because she's the backbone to everything we do. So Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. This was awesome. Thank you so much, Lysia.
And as always, if you'd like to stay updated with any CPCA advising or Backstage Pass podcast, anything related to those things, I don't know why I did an accent there. But if you'd like
British now.
But if you'd like to stay in touch with all those different things, go ahead and follow us on social media at CPCA_advising. That's where you can stay up to date with any advising purposes that you might need, or with Backstage Pass, because we're always posting every week. But with that said, it is the end of the week. Classes are officially over after this Monday. For some people, they're officially over after today. So, keep grinding, keep doing you, and making the best out of these next couple of weeks, because they are going to be very long. So
good luck on finals, everyone. Study.
Yes, good luck on finals. Study.
That's what I have to do.
That's right. We're all going to be studying in some way, shape, or form. But whatever it is, good luck with the rest of the semester. We will see you guys next time.